our first video, which we're going to talk about why physical development is so important with regard to learning. So as I've said, children don't learn to sit still by sitting still. So that's why it's so important for children to move physically to develop a range of skills that are vital to learning. So basically, we're aiming for a child to have control over their body that enables them to sit, focus and concentrate. So why is physical development so important for learning? Basically, our body needs to be developed enough so that our mind is free to focus on sitting, focusing and concentrating, rather than our brain sending signals to different parts of our body for it to stay balanced, to know where it is, etc, etc. Because learning isn't all in the mind. It requires a range of physical skills, and the evidence does suggest that a number of these are highly significant in a children's ability to engage in learning. So first things first, let's look at balance. So children need to have a strong sense of balance both when moving and sitting still. We learn to balance by moving, by getting a sense of our body in space and gaining control over it. So gaining balance is important. That enables us to move and sit still without having to exercise conscious control over our bodies. Basically, as I said, our mind is free to focus on other things rather than keeping it upright and preventing us from falling over. So closely linked to balance is number 2, proprioception. It's a big word, I know. You don't need to worry about it too much. But we have proprioceptive capability, and this actually starts in the womb, and it's the awareness of our body in space. So imagine that you're going to sit on a chair. If you have sufficiently developed your proprioceptive capabilities, bit of a tongue twister, I know, you'll be able to judge without conscious thought exactly where you are in space and where the chair is in relation to you, and you will just lower yourself gently onto the chair without missing it. So sometimes when you see a toddler or a baby learning, they might misjudge that. That's because their proprioceptive capabilities are not fully developed yet. So in a nutshell, proprioception is feeling at home in our bodies. And we get proprioceptive input from pushing, from pulling, from stretching and sort of heavy muscle work. And without good feedback from our brain, we have trouble sort of staying calm and focused. That is why proprioception is very important. Crossing the midline. So what is crossing the midline? So basically, it's another vital skill that occurs as a motor action, because we're moving parts of our body, and it's integral to learning. So basically, it's an imaginary line that runs down our body, and it refers to any action or motor action that involves crossing that line. And it emerges as babies and young children as they develop bilateral integration, which is basically good communication between the left and right hand side of the brain. And it develops in a series of stages. We don't need to go into that today. But a children's ability to cross their midline is central to self-help skills, such as getting dressed in the morning, brushing their hair, in physical activities that require looking, reaching or stepping across their midline, such as dancing, ball games. It's there in supporting the development of a dominant side of the body as well. You'll notice them either being right-handed or left-handed. And then later in life, as they start to become more literate, for example, when they are tracking from left to right when they are reading and writing. So the next skill we're going to look at, and the final one today, is sensory awareness and integration. So this basically refers to a child's ability to receive and respond to information which we gather through our senses. So this includes the 5 main ones which we all know, so touch, taste, sight, hearing and smell. But it also includes other internal ones such as proprioceptive senses, which includes like movement and internal body awareness, which we've already discussed in this video. So we build our understanding of our world around us as an infant and as a child, which allows us to make, you know, these connections based on previous experiences and sensations, which is why, you know, you hear so much hear people bang on about, you know, we need such rich sensory motor experiences for babies and children to help build them a strong foundation for later learning. So basically, you know, they need to move to learn and to have the time, space and opportunities to take in all this information through their senses and then piece it all together. So now we're getting to the final bit of the video. What can you do at home to help your child build all these physical skills to help them have the best start at learning? So balance and proprioceptive capabilities are developed and strengthened you know, by using these large and small physical movements, which include a lot of pressure. So these are things including bouncing, jumping, climbing, pushing, pulling, swinging and spinning. And these are things that, you know, are really part of everyday life and, you know, routinely provided in settings, whether that's at nursery, a preschool or a childminder. So you don't really need to do things differently, and I'm not here to panic you and make you think, oh my gosh, I haven't done enough with my child. That's not at all what it is. It's just to make you aware, and like I said, you're probably doing a lot of it anyway. So if you do want to think of more activities that you can do to help, you know, build these proprioceptive pathways, then I suggest things like digging, pushing a wheelbarrow, you know, help getting them to carry the shopping when you're out. You know, got an emphasis on gardening here, so, you know, pulling weeds out, hanging from monkey bars at the playground, and then if you like to play games with your child, you know, getting them clapping and stomping and hopping, galloping and skipping. So, you know, YouTube videos are great for that. There are so many that get them doing all those different skills. I'm not going to talk your ear off, so I'm going to list in this slide here all of these different activities that you can do, which are going to help build balance and proprioceptive capabilities, as well as the cross-lateral movement, which is going to help, you know, that crossing the midline and that bilateral integration. Like I said, you're probably doing lots of these anyway, because they're all part of the routine that you do with their everyday life, whether it's going to the park or being at nursery or helping granddad in the garden. It's just a reminder to keep things, you know, rich and a variety that, you know, that's going to stimulate them and engage them, and just building on their senses and, you know, those past experiences to help them, you know, connect things, as we've mentioned already. So yeah, have fun. Any questions, then let me know. So hit the like button below if you've learned at least one new thing during my video today, or there's at least one thing that you can take away with you and maybe apply with your child. And maybe perhaps send me a comment below if there's one takeaway that you've got from the video. Don't forget to press the bell button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on new videos. You can also follow Jolly Elephants on Facebook and Instagram. We will be sharing things with you each week, stuff for you to try at home and new information to help educate and empower you. Thank you guys, have a great day.